Afternoon, everybody. I'm Jason Salas. Welcome to another episode of House to Home, where my dear friends Liz and Gina from Remax Diamond Realty are educating you on everything that's going on with real estate on our island community. And we've been telling you about a bill legislation right now that's been a source of controversy for many in our island community. And they've been good enough to bring with us some friends of theirs, Elaine and Johnny Santos, who are gracious enough to give us some of their time and actually tell you, the community, some of the impacts of this legislation, how it's affecting them. So Liz and Gina, I'll let you take over.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So John, I really, you called me the other day, reaching out, asking for help, for my help this time as a realtor. I understand that Senator Lee's bill about not being able to use septic tanks on the aquifer has greatly impacted your ability to, you're at the point where the court is ready to distribute your property to your family. And my understanding is you called me this week. You were hoping that I would list your property so I can sell it, because you've been told that it may not be worth you inheriting the property at this point and passing it on to your siblings. And I wanted you to share your story if you could.
Sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and read through what I had jotted down. So I'm gonna just go ahead and start from the beginning. We've been trying to settle our parents' only property for the past 7 years, but with issues with neighbors opposing our land registration and the road encroachment issues, this just dragged for so long. We had to take the government and the neighbor to court. Even though we prevailed, it cost us over $20,000 with no recovery for the attorney fees. Now, this proposed bill would be of no help for us. Our plans and hope to finally settle this property. This is a big concern for us. Both our properties are at risk. Both properties will become substandard. Should we subdivide, then the bill becomes law. Lee's bill has no regards to how many landowners will this affect. Running sewer lines should be prioritized, not land size. I strongly oppose this bill. This bill should be focused on the existing contamination issues. Restrictions on septic tanks and land size will not minimize or stop contamination. Every septic tank built, regardless of land size, will add contamination to the already existing contaminations. I've contacted our attorney in regards to this possible effect on our settlement. And yes, they came out, both attorneys consulted, and they came out with recommendations. And I'll read to you, there are 4 recommendations.
Okay.
Number 1 would be pay for public sewer system installations, us, the landowner, which we can afford. However, the cost for us to run septic tank in there to our property is going to be more costly than the value of the property. It's going to cost us more.
To run the sewer line, you mean, John, right?
Yes.
Mhm. Yes.
It's going to be at our cost, and it's not going to be worth it.
Mhm.
It's going to be more expensive than the property. Number 2 would be sell as is without subdivision. Then whatever proceeds we split equally, which I do not want. I rather have my property. I can't make
Yeah.
properties. I can make money.
Yes.
The third one would be to lease to private investors. I don't know whether private investors would lease our property. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The last one would be go ahead and subdivide and wait for the government to install the sewer system, which I doubt they'll ever install. So that's my side. You know, I've been working on this for too long. I put in so much time, effort, and money. And I'm looking forward to having every one of my siblings have their own piece of this property that we inherited from our parents' hard work.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm totally opposing this the bill.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that story, John. See, that this is the thing. And we believe, as you do, that there are other ways to solve this issue.
Yes.
And focusing on restricting property owner rights even further, I don't think is going to get to is going to be the solution to this problem. And I don't believe that the senators actually can see the impact of what this law is having for somebody like you. The law hasn't even passed. And just the discussion, just having it on the table is already causing your attorneys to say, hey, John, hold on. I know you've spent all this money, but it doesn't look like this is going to work. And this is, this is the story we want them to see. It's not just you. You're one of the few that was able to reach out to us. Lucky that we know you personally and you were able to reach out to us and share with us how this has impacted you. There are so many others out there that I believe are in the same boat that don't have the ability to reach out to the senators right now. Correct, Liz? I know you've been speaking to some people.
We've been speaking to a number of people. Some of them couldn't even get online. My mom even owns property that she's used for parental subdivision. And she still has remnants of the property that in her 84 years of age wants to liquidate. And this bill would inhibit her ability to sell it or even market it. So, John, I feel for you. You want to subdivide this lot so that 13 of you could take advantage of the property. So I know that they've done some amendments to the bill. They're still trying to push it forward. I think the key element in one of the amendments has to do where they have an alternative use other than septic tanks, so they can have septic tanks and alternative use, which definitely would help. But they're pushing it rather hard, and a number of the senators are supporting this bill. I don't have a list of who they are, but we should all find out who the senators are that are supporting it and get their, I mean, we've been sending letters to all of them to say, hey, there's a problem here. You guys have to slow down. So your input definitely is critical, and there are many others just like you that have the same issues.
It's a worthy cause, and it does need to be addressed. I just don't think it should be addressed in this manner during this pandemic time of COVID. I think they really should allow the citizens to be able to go in, study these new systems that they're so they change the wordings on the bill. They're trying to say, okay, we've got some new systems you guys could look at, but I think that needs to be studied. The cost needs to be studied. The availability needs to be studied. And that means we need to wait. And the community needs to be educated about what that means for them, what the cost is going to be for them. So I'm really strongly suggesting that the legislature wait on this, that the senators wait on this until we're all able to go in and really have a good discussion about the impact of families like you.
That's right. That's right.
So hopefully we come up with the contamination solution rather than to start punishing the landowners.
That's right. That's one of the things we brought up, that they would have to do more research to determine where the contamination comes from versus penalizing the landowners, and the idea that septic tanks is a big contributor to the problem when they have no No concrete evidence of that other than theories. Theories don't get you far. You need concrete evidence.
Okay.
We agree with you, John. We support you. We're going to send your message out there. And Liz and I are going to invest more of our time to calling the senators and asking them how they're going to vote on this bill, because I think it just comes down to that. I think it comes down to, give us your commitment, tell us how you're going to vote, and then we'll watch to see how you actually vote. And then the community will know, what's important
Right.
to the senators and what's important to us. That it needs to connect at some point. And I think everybody that we've heard testify on this bill that is part of the community, they've all said the same thing. The aquifer is important, but the people are more important than that. Protect the people first, and then the people will protect their land. We all want the same thing.
That's right. So we have to get more, many people are looking at this program and seeing that you're one of many, that they'll come forward and tell their story. So Gina and I are committed to continuing to have people tell their story about how it affects, their property and their property rights as well.
Okay.
Thank you for your time, John. And we're not going to be selling your property anytime soon.
Yeah.
No.
We want you to keep your property. We want you to
it.
distribute it to your
That-
family members that have been
That's what I
waiting
want to
so
do.
long.
Yeah, don't
Okay.
lose that,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mr. Santos and Mrs. Santos, we wish you both happy holidays and the very best of luck as it seems like you may have a few more discussions to have about this, but we wish you the very best, and we ask that if you need any help, please come back to us, and please keep us up to date with what's going on, because we would like to help you.
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to everyone. Stay
All right,
safe.
and Merry Christmas to
Thank
you both. And yeah, Liz and Gina, thanks so much for setting this up. And that was House to Home. Everybody, we hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and please stay safe. We'll see you next time.
Okay.
Thank you.